Now you're talking about something that we really care about. It's about the focus, the clarity on the market, the opportunities, and the strategy plan of how to capture on these opportunities in the market. So this is one of our key processes that we have built, and we have kept refining that over the last 10 years. It's not just calling, let's say, the McKinseys of the world. It's about having the management team to understand this by themselves, analyze, see opportunities, help and support them based on their own data and what they know from interaction with their own customers and with competitors as well. So what are the opportunities and how do we allocate the resources on the few critical strategic priorities so we can get the big acceleration of growth? And then we come to the question of, okay, so how can we finance that? Obviously, FSN Capital can come with some capital. That's pretty obvious. Yeah. Yes, we can. And we can also take some loans in the bank and we can use leverage, and we do both. But we also need to be mindful of, if we want to strengthen capabilities to be able to grow a company on a few critical areas, could be some of the existing products in new countries, could be some adjacent products that we want to do in existing markets, whatever. We need to also focus the company and the organization so we reduce some waste and we have initiatives to make it more simple. And often with a long history in a company, there can be layers that can be trimmed and simplified, and that's a good thing to do, because then you're making the company more coherent, agile, and everybody knows what's the purpose, what's the plan, how we're going to go there, and there's a fairness of we're going to reduce here and we're going to accelerate over here. That's what we try to do every single time.
Yeah, that's obvious, the right thing to do, because you are successful, and definitive that's the right thing to do. I'm wondering, Jesper, do you think that discipline and that rigorous process which you have developed, if that would work for big companies? So I mean, really, really big companies, being in a lot of markets, being a lot of business models, a lot of even different sectors, Now we don't have so many big companies which are conglomerate like it was in the 18, 19. So everybody is really focused and specialized. But still, the 20 billion company, the 30, 50 billion company, I guess that type of, rigorous focus is a little bit more difficult when it becomes so big. I don't know if you...
Well, you can still keep a lean mindset and the decentral focus, even though you become bigger of a large corporation. That's a little bit about the values and philosophy you have as a company owner. Do you want to have a decentral setup, or do you want everybody to be blue and the same logo and the same whatever? If you want the latter, you really need to integrate hard and invest accordingly to that and be super clear on your control setup. We come from the other side, and that's what I've done before joining FSN as well. I worked 10 years in Danaher. That was, a very successful American industrial conglomerate, developing over the years into life science, medical device. Everything was about the processes, people, plan, processes, performance, right?
And
the
it
four
was
Ps.
working.
And it was absolutely working. Personally, I worked in 3 of these companies in 3 different continents and in 3 different sectors. And it was exactly the same way that the boards were set up, the same processes. So you could just see the performance super shortly. We talked about the 3-second rule. So you can come into a board and have a conversation with the local leader, and 3 seconds, you just know how it's going and where the pain points are. And you can have that discussion. So you don't need to work so hard to identify the numbers. You can discuss how you deal with the numbers and what countermeasures you want to take. That's a world of difference. So yes, I believe you can do that in big companies as well.